Hello, my name is Elkrief, and today I want to talk about connecting to the earth. Feeling connection with the earth, with Mother Earth. And I imagine when I say those words, there are 1,000 different ways that you can hear that. You can hear it as something beautiful. You can hear it as something airy-fairy, as something mental, as something grounding. There are so many ways people relate to connecting to the earth. And I've gone through quite a journey from viewing it as illogical, to something airy-fairy, to wanting connected to connect to trees and the ground, and trying to connect, to experiencing a connection, but then noticing that I'm not valuing that connection or allowing myself to really sit with it and be with it and honor it. And today, in one of my sessions, something came up that I felt might be helpful for others. And what I find is the biggest block to connecting with the earth is trauma, is a trauma in the relationship to the earth. So the same way, like if there was a human being in front of you, and if you're afraid of them or don't want to spend time with them or whatever, it could be from trauma. It could be you inflicted pain upon them or they inflicted pain upon you. So the same thing occurs in our relationship to the earth. So when we want to feel safe and solid within ourselves, when we want to feel grounded and stable, instead of feeling anxious, afraid, insecure, using our job or money or partnership or friends to feel safe and solid, if we want to find it within ourselves, a big part of that, a really useful, amazing part of that is connecting to the ground, connecting to the earth, which is sort of being grounded. Being grounded means connecting to the earth. I'm trying to say it in all sorts of different ways to hit something. But a lot of times when people focus on being grounded, they are trying to concentrate on the ground or bring your awareness to the ground. And that's helpful momentarily, but it has the same sort of insufficiency as trying to live in the moment by focusing on the present moment. So if you just focus on this moment here and now, your sensations here and now, what's within your 5 senses, so like what you see, what you hear, you might feel present. You might feel connected to what's happening now, but it's not going to last very long. It's a temporary experience created by bringing awareness, attention, and focus or concentration to something. Now, the same thing applies with feeling grounded, with feeling connected to yourself, connected to the earth. If you just focus on the ground, bring your awareness to your feet, bring your awareness to the earth below, shake, jump up and down, whatever grounding exercise there is, that has a temporary experience, a temporary help, and it might have a residue or a remnant of that lasts and can be helpful. But the way that I work with basically any issue practically is I work with what is blocking it from being natural, right? So if I can't focus on the present moment, if I'm looking at a tree and I can't focus on it, why can't I? Well, what else is taking my attention? And if I undo the cause of why my attention goes someplace else, then my attention is just left on the tree. Right? If I can't connect to another human being in front of me, why? Not just, no, I need to focus more. Or the same thing applies with like schoolwork or working on a project at work. Why can't I focus? What's blocking it? Instead of trying to concentrate harder and using willpower stronger. It's just not how I operate. So why are we not grounded? Why are we not connecting to the earth? And to be grounded means, so it turns out this video is shifting from how to connect to the earth to how to be grounded, and connecting to the earth is a part of it. So what does it mean to be grounded? I love how I just transition topics in the middle of the video. What does it mean to be grounded? It's a very important question. How do I answer that? There are many places where our awareness can be. Our awareness, for many of us, particularly analytical people, our awareness is mostly on our head, what's going on in our head throughout the day. For feelers, they're feeling their chest most of the time. Some people their stomach, and some people who are very active, who have like more physical jobs or live more in nature, might feel their legs a lot and have a lot of awareness and connection to what's happening in their legs. And the purpose, so like, why does it matter to make a video about being grounded? Like, what is the fundamental purpose of it, intention or need for it? And there's a few things within there. So one thing is anxiety is so unbelievably prevalent in our society, and anxiety is simply being ungrounded in a sense. So being grounded means you feel stable and solid. It means you feel connected to your roots, right? So if you're a tree and you're connected to your roots, then when the wind blows, you feel solid. There's no chance of you tipping over, right? But if some of your roots are not so solid, don't go so far down, or you're missing some of your roots, then when the same intensity of wind blows, it can just blow you over. And if it can blow you over and you had emotions, then you'd be afraid all the time of being blown over because you know the wind can blow you over. Does that make sense? So when we have fear all the time, a big portion of it can be because we're not grounded, we're not solid, if not all of it. Can be we're not solid in ourselves, we're not connected to our roots. And to connect to our roots is a journey. This is not going to happen in this video, I promise you, but you could make some really nice steps in the right direction. For me, I've been going on this journey for the last 5 years to find safety, solidness, and stability within myself. And for me, that's meant going downward. So I lived in my head. I was analytical my whole life. And what that means is, as a child, I had intense feelings that were too intense for me to handle. So I unknowingly, unconsciously, but strategically disassociated from my body because it was too intense to handle and went up to my head. And then my whole life I lived in my head. I didn't have access to my emotions or feelings. I basically had no emotions and feelings. And there was beauty in that. I could very functionally survive very well. I was very functional and can do things, and society rewards people who are analytical with money and success and all that sort of thing. But I didn't have safety. I had pressure. I was thinking all the time. And that pressure and thinking all the time comes from not feeling solid and safe within myself. I need things outside to go my way for me to feel safe and solid. So the journey to become grounded is really the journey to meet all of the places in our body that causes us to disassociate. Okay? So if I have a pain in my chest that's super intense and I can't handle it, whoop, I go up. But if I go, now that I'm an adult and I have now more and more energetic capacities, I can go down to that pain, hold it in love and safety and comfort so it can be expressed, so it can work its way out of my system. And so let's say there's hundreds or dozens at least of buried pains, buried emotions, buried unsafeties, buried fears in my chest, in my solar plexus, in my stomach, in my hips, in my pelvis, in my sexual organs, and then down into my thighs and calves and all of that. And so the journey to be grounded is the journey to make your way through all of this stuff, to let it all out so it's no longer pushing you up to your head or pushing you up to whatever is the next level. Like if I have let go of the vast majority of what's in my chest and solar plexus, then when intense pain is in my stomach, unconsciously, maybe I don't feel it, there's just a whole bunch of buried stuff there. I'm not aware of it, let's say, in this moment. but it's causing my energetic awareness to remain in my solar plexus and up. My energetic awareness is not, let's say, in my belly and my pelvis. Not that I'm aware of any particular pain down there. It's just blank there. There's just blandness, emptiness down there, let's say. So the journey to be grounded is the journey to meet and hold space for the different pains in our body, working all the way down to the ground. Now, I have plenty of other videos that have been and will continue to support you in all the different types of things that need to be met, healed, loved, let go of in different parts of our body. But in this video, I want to come back to the original intent, which is about connecting to the earth. So as we work through our whole body, down to the ground, down to our feet, well, what's beneath our feet? The earth. And connecting to the earth is connecting to our roots. We are made of the earth, literally, right? The elements of the earth are present within ourselves. Yes? So, if you've never connected to the earth, then this can still stay in the realm of airy-fairy, conceptual, blah, 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 blah. But when you feel it, what it feels like to connect to the earth in your felt experience, it's no longer airy-fairy. It's the definition of power and solidness, like whoosh, I am here. So what blocks us in that connection between our feet and the ground is the trauma between us and earth. What does that mean? Well, what has the earth done to you? In this life, in past life, in your ancestor lineage, what has the earth done to you? It's killed you. Famine, drought, like monsoon, floods, hurricane, tornado, you name it. Not to mention, poisonous plants, the animal kingdom, right? Being killed by snakes, killed by lions, who knows, right? So the earth has been a source of trauma for us. So much so, you can see it in our society, everyone's just trying to disconnect from earth. There's an opposite trend also happening with people more and more wanting to live close to nature. But in the generic society, it's how we literally put cement over the earth and live in buildings and cities that don't have trees or grass. It's like, and that's where we feel safest and most comfortable. If you go into a jungle or even a forest, maybe you don't feel safe and relaxed. And it's because there's unhealed trauma in relation to the earth. But the same thing applies the other way. What have you done to the earth? What have you done to the earth? You've cut down trees. You've burnt down forests. You've polluted the waters. You've been disrespectful towards water usage. You've killed animals with hatred or with disrespect. You've taken way more than you need of plants and animals. There's been so many things that we've done towards Mother Earth that is disrespectful and unkind. So the traumas go both ways. And in order to connect to the earth, not to focus to feel a connected moment, but to live connected to the earth, we have to heal those traumas. We have to meet them and be honest with ourselves about them. And it is painful. It is painful to acknowledge all the things we've done to Mother Earth, all the ways we've treated her disrespectfully. And it is painful to feel all the traumas of being in danger because of what happened, what Mother Earth did to us. And so we need to let go of the blame and guilt towards ourselves, that I'm a bad person for what I did, and the blame and guilt towards Mother Earth as a perpetrator. And the first step to that is to feel the pain of what I did and to feel the pain of what happened to me. I'm not going to hold too much space for that in this video. It's more of an instructional how to do it, and then you're going to have to do it on your own, just because I don't feel like taking you through an exercise in this moment, but I'm sort of instructing you in what needs to happen. To hold space for the pain of what you've done and what's been done to you in relation to Mother Earth. And then to forgive. to forgive, that you were doing the best you could, that you didn't know any better, that you're doing the best you can now, that you're sorry. But the biggest part of it is about feeling the pain and letting it move through you and be expressed so it can come out of you. And to make your intention really, really clear. I want to meet Mother Earth with love and respect in every moment. And I want to feel connected to Mother Earth, to know that I am made of her. And yeah. It's so, so important in so many different ways to be connected to the Earth. Both for us feeling safe and solid within ourselves, in treating Mother Earth lovingly just because we want to treat everything lovingly and kindly and she needs us. But also, the more safety and solidness we have within ourselves, the more we can treat everyone lovingly and kindly. When we don't feel safe, when we feel incomplete, scared, we're constantly using everything in our environment to try to give us safety. More money to feel safe, more success to feel safe, more respect, more love from you to make me feel safe, more appreciation. We're constantly looking for things from others, from the world, from our environment, in order to feel safe. But once we feel safe, we can start giving and supporting from a place of wholeness, from a place of solidness. So that's how to connect with Mother Earth. It's how to connect to yourself, I suppose. How to feel grounded. How to be grounded in a more permanent, lasting way, where your time and energy is spent on something that has like increasing value. Like every moment that you spend on this is building up, as opposed to just a practice that disappears the moment you stop and then has to be started over fresh again. So I hope that helps you. Please let me know your experience. This is quite different in some ways than my usual video, and I'm curious how receptive you are to it, how you feel, what happens when you try it. And if it's helpful, as always, I welcome you to subscribe and share it with others. Have a nice day. Bye.